What up, guys? Welcome to Base Damage. Hope you're all having a great day today. Today I'm going to be bringing to you a deck profile and discussion video that's based off of another already existing deck profile on YouTube. It's on Burn One's channel. It's based off a ReZero deck, as you can tell by the title, that is blue-yellow, and I very much enjoyed the idea of this deck. It's based off the level 3 Betelgeuse finisher setup with the unseen hands and everything. And it's really cool, and I really liked it when I saw the deck profile come out. I was watching over it, looking over it, and just kind of going, I wonder if there's a way I can make this budget as far, because it had a lot of really good utility cards, a whole bunch of just really cool setups, and I just was looking at it going, there's a lot of expensive shit in here that I don't have. It's really good though. Like obviously, I'm gonna put a link in the description. I'm still trying to pick up a whole bunch of ReZero cards. Anyway, I'll put the link in the description. Check it out. Like, give them a like, subscribe, whatever the fuck you do for YouTube now. I don't know, but I wanted to come up with my own budget version, and I think I have the budget counterpart of that video of that deck. But I very much enjoyed it, and we're going to be getting into that today, and finally got all the cards to come in. I was missing like 4 cards for actually being able to do this this budget version of that deck, and I'm enjoying it. I have not played it yet. For a disclaimer, I have not played this yet. Once again, this is one of the whole deck profile concepts, and I'm going to test play this and then make ratios as I see fit. Now, the cool thing is, I kept the ratios for this as is. I pretty much cookie cuttered the thing in ratio, as far as in ratios of the cards, and trying to find cards that had similar effects. Like for the level 3s, they had the early play Rems. I only have 2 copies of that, and the dude was running 4. So I'm like, okay, what's a good early play healer type thing? That was my mentality going into it. And tried to match each card in that way as far as like matching the effects. But anyway, let's get into this and hope y'all enjoy the deck profile. Alright, so to start off with, we have, obviously we're going to be getting into the zeros. There's some very interesting utility in this, and like I said, I'm going to be going over each of it. I have a couple copies of the card counterparts of like the more expensive cards in the deck. There's probably like 4 really expensive cards. So I have the budget versions of those in here, and I have the counterparts of those set to the side, and I don't have playsets of those. So let's get right into it, starting with the zeros. Pardon one sec. All right. So first off, as you can see, we have 2 copies of the Felt Mill Runner. Really good to have some runners in this, and there's a good couple other cards in here that'll be very interesting. This is going to be out of order from how the dude had it. I couldn't remember as I was organizing this deck back together again. 3 copies of this 002K Rem. 2 really good effects. First lets you top check when you play her, and you can leave it on top of the deck or put it on the bottom. So that's really cool. Like early game, you go, cool, play this, see a climax. Oh, I'm going to put you on the bottom of the fucking deck. That's really cool. So... but then also has an ability when a climax is placed on your opponent's climax area, you can send her to the stock. So it's really cool if you know your opponent's going to get pushed to level 1 before you, and they may have some like on reverse combos or some shit. You can field these, and as soon as your opponent goes to play that climax, these scoop off to the stock, you get extra stock, and your opponent's like, fuck, I got no on reverse combos. Woohoo! Yay for tease and denial, right? No, anyway. First big counterpart in here. I'm just going to be showing off. Dude was running copies of this. I decided to replace that with 3 copies of the 00 Rem from the trial deck. Mostly, like I said, it's kind of for a utility purpose. I really couldn't copy the whole bounce this card to back row effect. There's not really much else in ReZero that could do that, but I figured this was probably the next best thing. Considering what my level 1 combo is going to be, this gives some extra buff if you end up having to play her at level 1, as well as she can do some potential hand filtering and whatnot. So pretty cool there. Next big change up was this 0/0 puck, basically replacing this 0/0. Oh, shoutouts to Devlock, kitty on the head rim. But this basically lets you on play pay 1, do yourself a damage, and search your deck for a level 1 or lower character. Basically fits the entire theme of the whatever trait. It also had another effect. I'm sorry. Oh, this also has a filter. When you mill, you can, or when you attack, you can mill the top card if it's climax, draw one, pitch one type thing. So, make certain. I think this has the exact. Oh yeah, when this attacks, you reveal if it's a weapon of magic. You can add it to your hand, and then yeah, okay. I knew this has a filtering effect. Anyway, this basically is the counterpart to that because of the. Basically, where this one lets you grab any level 1 or lower, this lets you on play pay 1, do yourself a damage to search your deck for an Amelia. Your level 1 engine is going to be this Amelia right here, so obviously it grabs that. A lot of your entire, except for one card, your entire level 2 lineup all has Amelia in it in some way, shape, or form. So I was looking at that and going, oh cool, I can still get a good bit of utility out of this card and still get like my searches and whatnot like the other rim is designed for. It also has an alarm effect, which I'm not certain how often this is going to come up, but I'm going to test it out. If it's the top card of your clock and you have 3 or more Celestial Spirit cards, which is going to be copies of himself, copies of Amelia, that type thing. At the beginning of your climax phase, you can choose a character and it gets 2,000 power. So basically, I'm guessing if I have like 2 of the level 1 Amelia and maybe 1 of this Amelia back row, because this is actually really good too, then this effect could actually potentially go off and make it so one of those Amelias is going to be way bigger. But 2 copies of this, and I basically the dude ran 4 Brainstormers. I'm just going to go ahead and toss them both out right now. So basically the dude had, I don't have a copy of this, Moroku has my copies of this. There's a Betty Brainstormer that he ran like, I think, there's like 4 copies of it if I'm not mistaken. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to try to like just put in 4 Brainstormers, and I decided to do a little bit of a mix here, but for 2 reasons. One, this is a salvaging Brainstormer, pretty cool. And this is a drawing Brainstormer, but I more wanted to put her in, even though the drawing Brainstorm is not that good, I wanted to put her in because when you play a climax, you can also give a character 1,000 power, which really helps your level 1 engine. So, sorry, just scooting stuff here. 2 copies of this Witch Cult card it's one of the Relentless Rats of ReZero. As far as you can put as many copies as you want in the deck with the same name of 10 fingers. But that means you could run more, but the dude only ran 2. It is also a stock bomb. Making certain I have this correct. Yep, it is a stock bomb reverser, so that's always good as well. And then, sorry, scooting over once more. 2 copies of this Rim Ram Zero Reverser. It also has a really good act ability where you can discard a card and sack her to summon or to add back a character from your waiting room to hand. So really good utility there. And this entire lineup is actually pretty cheap. I thought these were still going to be expensive, but these have gone down. So that's why I've kind of included them in the budget as well. So, yeah. Also, for being a Riki, compared to that rim's like 20-something dollars, I think. This is like $1. So, I thought that was really cool. So, getting right into the level 1s. Not as many level 1s, and I'm not used to running this low of a level 1 count, personally. But that's just whatever. It also depends on the deck. So first off, we have 4 copies of the engine of the deck, which is this 105K Amelia. Climax combos with this 1K1 Pants Trigger. And I actually prefer the Pants Trigger more, even though the other option that Dude Man ran, I only have 2 copies of this, but that's whatever. This is by far the better Climax combo. Absolutely 100%. This is still really cool, though, for budget purposes. So whatever. So, whereas this is like on attack, look it up to 4, give a buff and everything. It's really good. this is a on reverse climax combo to be able to search for magic or weapon characters. So I still like this, and it's not the worst in the world. It's obviously in a competitive sense, this is not as good as this is. So, but I do prefer the pants trigger over the draw trigger. That's personal preference, but that's whatever. And I pretty much already stated the climax combo just then, so there we go. On to the next one. To round out the level 1s, you have another Relentless Rat. You have 6 copies of Unseen Hand. It is one of the first effect is you can run as many copies of it as you want in a deck. If you wanted to run 42 copies of this, you could. Don't do that, but you could. There's 2 other effects. The level when this is on the field, all of your other copies of the level 3 Battle Geese get 1,000 power. And when this becomes reversed, if this card's battle opponent is cost 0 or lower, you can put that character into the opponent's stock. And if you do, put the bottom card of your opponent's stock into the waiting room. More stock bombs, which is really cool, but the biggest thing I saw this in Dude Man's explanation for why this is run is this fucks over Aaron combo. From AOT, the Aaron combo, it's an on-reverse combo, so that makes it so this guy's like, come on, hit me, bro. But his climax combo basically leaves him on the field with an effect that lets him bounce back to hand, denying further on-reverse advantage from your opponent and letting you be able to use him potentially multiple times. Since this just straight up goes, cool, hit me, and if you do, you're off the field, you don't get... The opponent would still get the climax combo that lets you get an omnidirectional mobility gear back from your waiting room to hand from the Aaron effect, but it will not stay on field that your opponent can just keep bouncing it back. So definitely really cool, and this is the card that's summoned by the level 3 Battle Geese, and so we'll see this again in a sec. So that is it for the level 1s. The level 2s actually had quite a bit of one-ofs, even though this one is basically the exact same card. This is a promo. I wanted to put a copy in it just for the fuck of it, because cute little yukata. But essentially, it's a 2,500 backup, level 2 Amelia, that has a anti-change effect. Basically, pay 1, pitch a magic or weapon character, and put a character from your stage into your waiting room. So even that could potentially deny some like on reverse shenanigans at level 3. If you do choose one of your opponent's characters with a level higher than their level, put it on the bottom of their deck. And even it was also explained that sometimes bottom decking anti-changes are not the best in the world, depending on who you're playing against, like Love Live Sunshine. But this is literally verbatim, minus the names, the exact same fucking card. So, just putting that out there. Where the dude had a level 2 Rim that supported the level 3 early play Rim, I wanted to get another kind of support card in here that could also potentially help that level 1 Amelia if you end up playing it later. But this is a 2/1 Amelia and Rem, so this is searchable by the puck, so that's pretty cool. It's 1,000 assist in front, and you can tap her to get 1,500 power. Another anti-change, as far as like early play reverser, when it becomes reversed, if the level of the battle opponent is higher than your opponent's level, you can put that on the bottom of the deck once again, but that's whatever, that ain't no problem. And when it's placed on stage from hand, choose Amelia, and that character gets 1,000 power till end of turn. So more buffing up of the level 1 if you absolutely need it. And lastly is the level 2 Betelgeuse is a 2/1, another 2,500 backup. And when you play the backup, you can pay a stock to grab back the level 3 from the waiting room. So pretty cool. Make certain that's waiting room. Yeah, waiting room. And that's it for the level 2s. And then to the level 3s, and we're gonna go ahead and start with the what I changed out for running 4 copies of this early play. I ran 4 copies of the Crush and Ferris, Felix, whatever the fuck you want to call him, Trap Boy, adorable Trap Boy. Anyway, so where this is a early play healer, this also does the exact same thing. The difference being this can get you markers that can basically every time the battle opponent becomes reversed, you are able to grab back a weapon or magic character from your waiting room and put it under her as a marker. And she gets progressively bigger with every marker. She's also got a $20 price tag, so ish, like around that area. I think it's like 17 and 18 now. I don't know, but so it took me a little bit to actually find this. I forgot this card existed. This is the card I had to order. I was like, like fucking 50, like a quarter for a level 3 double rare. Like it was like between a quarter and 50 cent for a level 3 double rare that is an early play. If you have two, basically you can play it at level 2 if you have 2 copies of it in the waiting room. So the one in hand will get minus a level if you have 2 copies of it in the waiting room. Not difficult to pull off. So heals on play. And one of the other cool things I thought was really interesting about this is it actually fucks over anti-change effects. If all of your characters are magic or weapon, the entire deck is, this card gets 1500 power and the ability that during this card's battle, your opponent cannot play backup from hand. So unless they have an event that fucks it over, that's whatever. But you could play this, do your heal, attack with it first, and your opponent can't anti-change it. Meaning you can go ahead and get this attack out of the way, and if your opponent wants to anti-change afterwards, it's already done its job. You don't fucking care. So this is actually really cool, and I really actually enjoy this as a budget option. I was trying to look in blue. Blue options for early play healers are not good. So, other than that specific level 3 ram I just showed you. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of the finisher, and it is this level 3 Betelgeuse, and you only need one of this for the finisher, which is amazing. So on play, you can top check the top 3 cards of your deck, add one of them to your hand, rest go to waiting room. The Climax combo is a little bit of a mouthful, but it works with this Proof of Love 1k1 shot trigger. Basically, when the Climax gets played, you can pay 2 stock and put 2 Witch Cult trait characters from your hand to the waiting room, and then summon up to 2 copies of this Unseen Hand from the waiting room to the field. So these will hit the field. This guy gets bigger. It's kind of looking like this, kind of like little gropey. I don't know, but it gives these Unseen Hands that are summoned another little effect that they get +1 soul and the following ability until the end of the turn, that up to 1 time per turn when damage dealt by this card is canceled, you can deal 2 damage to your opponent. So each of these get 2 cancel burn, or 2 damage cancel burn, which is freaking amazing. So your damage spread ends up looking like 1k1. These each get a soul from the combo. So you're swinging with 3, 3, and 3, which is pretty fucking cool. It's really, really consistent, and I'm actually surprised, like, even in just like test playing hands, how well this has actually come together for that combo. So I actually very much enjoy it, and because of how consistent that was, or at least how the guy described it in the video, I can't remember his name, I very much apologize. But it looks like a very, very fun, interesting combo, and we're going to be trying that out. And that is it for the level 3s. So, and then just to round out the climaxes, this face though, what the fuck is up? 4 copies of the 1k1 shot trigger, and 4 copies of the 1k1 pants trigger. I do like, another reason I like the pants trigger in here is to be able to get this in case you need it. So, you never know, that may come up, but the draw trigger from the other one is still pretty fucking cool. So that's it for the deck, the climaxes and everything. So like I said, this is a concept testing budget deck. So I'm going to be running this next time I go up to my locals and try this out, see how well it works. And I just want to give a shout out to Burn One's channel for posting a really cool deck profile. Absolutely awesome, and you definitely intrigued me. I'm not 100% sold just yet until I play it, but this was cheap enough. I think if I add up everything, I'll end up trying to add up everything and put a price of how much it currently is as of November 5th. What the price tag of this deck would be. I'll try to put it in the description. So with that, thank y'all very much for watching. It's greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you want. If not, hey, thanks for stopping by to check out the deck profile, and we'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace out for now.